Hey friends, welcome back to Dig Drive DIY. Well, I've got a few really interesting things I want to share with you in this video. First of all, as you're watching this, it has been exactly 3 weeks since we started the first fire in our Crown Royal 7400E outdoor wood boiler. And you know what? I haven't cleaned it out yet. So I'm really interested to see what kind of ash I could expect out of this thing in 3 weeks worth of time. I know in my old stove what I could have expected, so interested in doing that. But speaking of the stove and firewood, I've got 4 cords of wood here collected so far. Been buying that from my neighbor Jeff. He's gonna bring me a few more, and I'm hoping we're gonna be real close to having our firewood supply for this year. But I need to be thinking about next year and the years after that. So a viewer friend of mine named Austin, he gave me a call. He's got something I could very well be interested in. So we're gonna jump in Louis and take a trip over there to see what Austin has to offer. And I've got a new attachment for the skid loader that I haven't had an opportunity to try out yet, but I think today's the day for that too. So there's a lot to get through. I'm gonna make sure this has got enough wood in it for the day, and then we'll go visit Austin at his job site.
Dig Drive DIY.
Man, this is the way to load logs. All right, I got my load of wood on the truck and trailer from Austin. It was awesome to watch Clint. Actually, I went to high school with Clint, the guy that's running that track loader, and he's digging out a stump, made it look easy. So just another way to do it. You don't see too many track loaders really that much anymore either. So I'm gonna head for home and get this dumped in the wood yard, and then I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to unload the trailer, and I got something pretty cool to show you that I'm gonna use to do that. So, all right, it's about lunchtime too. You gotta check out Austin's dump truck. I am super jealous of this. One day, maybe I'll have one of these. It's got the dozer. Check that out. That is one nice truck. Well, I made it back home to the wood yard. This is a pretty nice load, pretty big load actually, but I'll have to take everything off of the trailer first, and then obviously we can just dump the truck. I'm gonna round some stuff up, grab a bite to eat, and then we'll be back at it here shortly. Would you look at that right there? I've had this thing here for a few months now and have not got to try it yet. I've been anxiously awaiting this thing. It is awesome. Let me show you. I'll give you a closer look. This right here, my friends, is something to be excited about. This is a Hydra Rake grapple bucket from M&M. It is a thing of beauty. I love it's got these yellow stripes on it too, but this is a single piece, one piece top grapple, with the bigger wide tines on the bottom. Actually, they make one that's got wider tines than this one, but they sent this over for me a few months ago for me to demo and just to try out, and I haven't even got a chance to hook it up yet. Well, no, I take that back. I did hook it up and make sure it worked, but I really haven't got to do anything with it yet. So I'm gonna try to use this to unload the trailer, and then I'll be able to just dump the dump truck. And then I've got a job coming up for this too in the future that I plan to use it on, but I'm really excited to have a grapple of this size and this capability to pair up with my 331G, because it's something I've always had to borrow in the past, and I just think this will make a really nice combo. So we're gonna see how it does. So I've become accustomed to the grapples that have like a two-piece top, individual cylinders with two upper clamps. And this is a one-piece unit. But when I talked to the guys from there, they said that everybody's kind of moving to this and it works fine. So it'd be interesting to compare this from what I know of, you know, like the smaller Artilian grapple I've got that's got the two clamps on top. So I guess make sure these hoses are okay. They don't get short when I curl the bucket over. All right, I kind of got it twisted around that way. I got a couple bungees on there to see how it does. So I think that'll work. Okay, let's go get some of these logs unloaded. Let's get as big a bite as we can. I'm already impressed with this thing. It's got a huge opening, big wide mouth. It's incredible, really. I think I got them all. Oh yeah, I got them all. I had them all. Easy peasy picking them all up there. Got 3 that time. So far the biggest problem with this grapple has been me, the operator. Action is good. The grip has been really good and strong. That's the trailer load right there. A little crossed up. I'm gonna dump the dump truck right here. Okay, I'm gonna go unhook the trailer across the road, and then I'll come back and dump that load. Oh, good. They all came out. We're good. Okay. I'm actually going to go back and get one more load on the dump truck. These guys are cleaning up all the small stuff, shoving it all in that chipper. That little Vermeer mini skid with a rotating grapple on it, and that thing looks to work. Another load there, quality load. Work? That'll work. Thank you. Oh my.
I think that's like a little wood floor in there.
Oh man. It smells like a charter bus. Holy moly. Wow.
It didn't have a hitch plate on it. I had Hoosier. I know Landon and Hoosier truck and trailer real well.
Oh yeah?
And so I had them put the hitch plate on it. I told them I wanted a backup camera for hooking up to the trailer.
Nice.
So I told them, I said, I think it'll fit in that cubby right there. So it comes on in reverse now.
That's perfect. It's almost factory looking, man, being like right there. It's got straight pipes. Look at this truck. This has got a high lift tailgate on it. Check it out. Oh man. Holy cow, that is slick. Well, I sure do appreciate it. This is really helpful.
All right, man.
All right, we'll see you later. All right. Okay, one more load. We're gonna head to the house. All right, well, I'm back from my second trip up there to that job site. You know, every time I go and see the professionals working in their element, I'm reminded of kind of how rinky-dink my stuff is, but it never gets old seeing the pros working at the jobs they do best, or working with equipment that is catered to do it. That rotator that Austin has on his cat excavator, I think is incredible. It makes you realize, like, you should make the investment to get the right equipment to do the jobs you want to do. And that's why I think this Grapple is going to be a great fit for the skid loader, because otherwise I'd be farting around with the thumb on the backhoe or trying to use a machine that was too small, like my 755 or the Bommalite mini skid. And I think that this, from what limited use I've done with it so far, is just going to be super slick. Look at that. Holy cow. It's got like 5 or 6 of them. Now that is cool. See, that's a pretty good wad of logs right there, and they're not in there straight. So I guess here is an example of why it doesn't matter to not have the 2 jaws on top, because that is really irregular, but yet it picked it up and I was able to get them all in there. What I'm trying to do is just get these all positioned, you know, more in a straight line. They're all twisted and turned, so I'm just staging them out of the way and then I'll put them back. Plus I'm practicing, you know. It's nice to have a low pressure situation where there aren't people watching, other than, you know, 100,000 of my closest friends, but there aren't people here watching, and that makes me feel more comfortable, because I try not to imagine as many people watching as do, although I'm humbled by it and flabbergasted. I don't want to think about it too much. Okay, I'm just going to keep working like I'm here by myself. Well, that made short work of that. That is impressive. And I'm starting to get a little bit of a hang of where to have the bucket to pinch it and where to grab things. And really, I don't see any detriment to not having the individual pinchers on top. And there's some nice oak. There's a few little tough pieces in there with the forks in them. We'll get through it. I think that was a pretty good haul. For freebie oak and hickory firewood, that was a great haul. So thanks so much to Austin for giving me a shout and letting me come on the professional site and get some logs out of there. That worked out perfect. And I want to thank M&M for letting me try out this Grapple. I was very skeptical on how the single top part would be, you know, just a one-piece top pinchy part. But so far, I'm actually kind of impressed. It's got more pinching power when you're just grabbing from, you know, half of it than what I had assumed. So I'm really looking forward to trying that out, putting it in more situations, because I'm not super familiar with working a big Grapple yet, but it has a lot of potential on this machine, I tell you. So I've got a job where I could really use it coming up, and we'll put it to the test there. All right, so that was a phenomenal couple loads of wood there from Austin. With that oak and hickory that I picked up, I think I'm gonna be all set with enough firewood for next year. I just got to get out there and start getting it bucked up and processed, and that'll give me something to do this winter anyway. But now it's come to the point where I want to share with you my first attempt at cleaning out this stove. Now, I have to be honest, about 10 days ago, I did look at the ashes and paw some of them out at the front, but we've had 10 more days of heavy usage, and I just want to see what all ash comes out of the bottom. I'll show you the back. I've never cleaned out the back, and I haven't opened that up yet, so you and I will be seeing that for the first time together. But I'm going to grab some gloves and a mask and some safety glasses, and then we'll open this guy up. These are my bifocal safety glasses, highly recommended. Mask. And well-worn gloves. All right, so first of all, this is, you remember the rod that moves the turbulators in the back, makes them go up and down and cleans out the ash that's in the back of the stove. But there is a door on the front to access ashes. And so in here, behind this refractory, this is a piece of steel that has basically refractory material or concrete or ceramic inside of it. So it can be really hot and it can be really heavy. Let's get this out, and then there should be some ashes in there to clean out. So here's the part I was telling you about. 10 days ago, I pulled the ashes out of it after it had been running for 10 days, and this is basically all that came out of it. I don't even know if that was 10 days ago, but anyway, I got this little pan. Crown Royal provides you with this tool to drag the ashes out of the front of the stove. So we can get in there and go ahead and look down in there. You can see there isn't much ash to deal with. Reach all the way to the back. That's it. That right there is 3 weeks worth of burning. Sorry. That right there is 3 weeks worth of burning. All right, let's look in the back, see if there's anything to clean out back there. Oh, there's a little bit of ash. So the areas that I was able to access from the front of the stove continue right on through to here. So I can see where I drug the sides. Those sides is where I first used the tool from the front, so I'm able to access everything. And then there's the bottom of the turbulators. Put this on. Okay, let's check up here. Is there anything up here to clean? Nothing hardly. So I got just a little bit of ash around the bottom, but nothing to even, it's putting off some heat right now. I don't think that's enough to worry about at the moment. I guess I can drag a little of that out. Not much there. Fly ash. All right, let's kind of tally it up a little bit, see what we got. Look at that, it's so powdery. That's what they call fly ash. There's just nothing left. It's like talcum powder. So that is 3 weeks worth of a constant fire. Now granted, it hasn't been super cold yet. We're in a shoulder season. At first glance, I can already tell this is way less ash than I was dealing with before. I would have dealt with a wheelbarrow load by now for sure, because it burns up everything you put in there and it doesn't completely burn it like this does. I think this is a proof enough in the improvement in the efficiency of this gasification stove. And I've still got a lot to learn. There's a lot that I don't understand, like the moisture in the front. I actually talked to the folks at Crown Royal and asked them about the amount of moisture that the drip pan was catching in the front. So this is condensation coming off the wood as a result of wood not being super dry, but you got to have wood that's somewhere in the middle anyway. And then also just that it's so mild outside. But in the coming weeks, I'm going to make a little solution for this so that it doesn't hold water. I want to drain. We'll work on that as a project. But I'm excited. A lot of great things that are coming of this. Got the Grapple. That worked out great. The stove's working out great. And it's great to have you here watching. It means a lot to me. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Hope that you liked it. And if I'm lucky, we'll see you in the next one. I think it's going to be quite a bit colder then too. So, all right, we can go do a lot of fertilizing now with all this good ash. No, I'm just really surprised. I'm genuinely impressed with how little ash that is. I mean, 3 weeks, and you don't even have a 5-gallon bucket full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect my ash from all year long. I'll start a 55-gallon drum barrel, and if like all the ash from the year would fit in a 55-gallon drum barrel, that in itself is impressive, because usually I was filling one of our trash cans every other week half full. The wood's going somewhere. It's getting all burned up. But okay, gotta go get ready, more ready for the winter.